This is what she asked. Can you keep a secret? No, really? Can you keep a secret? Can you hold till it's time? But what if it's a secret you're keeping from people who believe in your dreams and want to cheer you on? I think you're asking too much of me, baby. To live in the shade when they know this is true love. I guess I understand why you are asking, but fear is not love. I promise you they can't mess this up. Love is no secret, and the rules are very clear. When it's true, there is no power that can sabotage the two. Love is no secret, and its power is real. Don't forget its power is real. Safe in love, none can ever make this love fail. There's no power, spell or fire strong enough to burn this up. We've been promised love forever, and we can't be afraid to shout it from the roof. Love is no secret, and the rules are very clear. When it's true, there is no power that can sabotage the two. Love is no secret, and its power is real. Baby, baby, don't forget its power is real. Safe in love, none can ever make this love fail. Love is no secret, and the rules are very clear. When it's true, there is no power that can sabotage the two. Love is no secret, and its power is real. Don't forget its power is real. None can ever make this love fail. None can ever make this love. Save us now, Hosanna, Hosanna, come down. Save us now, save us now, Hosanna, Hosanna, come down. Save us now.
The watch is ending. This is the last day of all I see.
to your faith, for there is need of you. Hold to your faith, for there is need of you. Take me at my word. Hold on, leaning on my word. Hold on, take me at my word. Hold on, says the Lord. Come on, everybody sing it. Hold on to your faith, for there is need. Hey, hold on. Yeah, there is need. Yeah. Take my word, oh Lord, leaning on my, hold on, yeah, say the Lord. Hold to your faith, for there is need of you. Hey, hold on, yeah, for there is need of you. Take me at my word. Hold on, leaning on my word. Hold on, yeah, hold on, yeah, says the Lord. I have commanded these things to be, although my plan, I know that you cannot see. Know that it's working for your good, says the Lord, says the Lord, yeah. I have commanded these things to be, yeah. Although my plan, I know that you can't see which way I'm taking you, but I promise, yeah, hold on, yeah. Your faith, yeah. There is need of you. There's somebody in the valley, yeah, and they need that light to shine. There is need of you. Take me at my, and hold on. Won't you lean on me? Lean on me. Hold on. Yeah, says the Lord. To your faith.
Hey everybody. Hi, good afternoon. Oh my gosh, long time no stream. Let me know if y'all can hear me. Drop a comment down below that you've liked the video and that you're here to kind of join in the conversation today. Be sure to subscribe to my channel while you're here. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload, because we aren't really consistent right now, just because there's a lot of family things going on. But definitely hit your notifications so that you don't miss when I do decide to stream or upload a video. As well as follow me on Instagram at Bria Joy Spires. So Today we are talking about the continuous attack on Father's Day. I give you a little backstory of what this whole stream idea kind of came from. I was scrolling on Facebook earlier this week. Y'all know June is the month of Father's Day, but I was scrolling on Facebook and I had seen a post that was really like, wait, what? And it was this one. It was this one right here. And it was supposedly a joke. It was supposedly, I don't know, to be something funny in reference to Father's Day. But it kind of sent me down a rabbit hole of remembering all the instances over even the last 5 years I have seen negative comments pop up in June for Father's Day. And it made me also kind of reflect on the fact that in May is the month of Mother's Day, I never see negative comments in reference to mothers on Mother's Day. Hi AG, thanks for tuning in. I never see negative comments in May for Mother's Day. Everybody always gives so much positivity out on Mother's Day and talks about the strength of motherhood and all the beautiful, amazing things that mothers do. But I notice almost every, and if not every single year, there are posts, even like this one, on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, everywhere, where there is a constant negative output of propaganda and commentary about the fathers. This one says, Happy Father's Day to me because I've done it all by my D self anyway. Okay. And if it's not through a meme, it's through people's videos. People say it in their videos. People make comments on Facebook about how their child's father is horrible. And I wanted to kind of have a conversation. About that. I kind of wanted to discuss some of what I've seen and also provide you all with some more productive ways to handle the certain negative nuances that come with either co-parenting or single parenting. Because what I don't like is the fact that my husband is a father. My dad is obviously a father. My uncles are fathers and great fathers at that. And when it's their time to be celebrated, they are plagued with a abundance of negativity on social media. They can't 100% enjoy their day because there are women online spewing hate as a result of their personal experiences with their child's father. Now, some will say, well, Bria, there are bad fathers out there. I'm sure there are. I have encountered some people who had those type of experiences. With that being said, there is 365 days in a year. There are ample opportunities to complain about your child's father. And honestly, you shouldn't do that then. But I'm just saying, if you're going to complain, why not complain when it happens instead of complaining on a day that fathers, the ones that are active and involved, are to be celebrated? And maybe it's out of malicious intent. Maybe it's out of the fact that you want to cause a stir amongst your family, peers, friends. Maybe you want to highlight the fact that you played both roles. Maybe it's out of hurt. But none of those reasons are reason enough to flood the internet with negativity around Father's Day. I didn't take the Chick-fil-A joke funny because I felt like even when it comes to taking fathers out for dinner and celebrating them during Father's Day, it seems to kind of be lackluster. I'm intentional, and y'all gonna hear kids. We got kids. But I'm intentional about getting my husband gifts that he enjoys. I am intentional about giving him the experience that I have in May, in June for him. I'm intentional about not just giving him ties, which he doesn't wear, but ties, socks, and underwear. But I hone in on what I know my husband enjoys and what I know he would love from his children. And it's not just me. I know a lot of moms out there that go above and beyond for their spouses, the father of their children on Father's Day, whether they're with them or not. But this negative propaganda that is continuously spewed online, I'm just kind of tired of seeing it, because what it makes me think is that, well, you had all year to complain, and maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But if you had that same 364 days to complain, you also had 364 days to at least come to some common ground with your child's father, to build some sort of healthy relationship for your children, to kind of get some therapy when it comes to your anger or disappointment with the father of your children. There was a lot of work that could have been done in a year that did not have to result in memes like this. There's a lot of work that could have been done in a year that showed that you have matured as a woman and can at the very least identify that your case is not most cases, is not all cases, and it doesn't really help when there again are men all year round that do a fantastic job, and when the one day of the year they are to be celebrated, it's either not celebrated at all, it's either celebrated on a very last minute or unintentional way, or it's flooded with negativity from people who don't have a good relationship with the fathers in their lives. AG says, I love this topic. I also seen wishing happy Father's Day to your mom because you didn't like your father's upbringing. See, and that's the other thing, because then you did have a father in your life, but you didn't particularly like the way in which he fathered you. So now you create an environment where he has to pay for all of what he's done to you as, I guess, as a child, instead of you coming to terms with what you're going through. And this is the dad in our lives, my husband, helping me with my live stream. So it's just very fitting that everybody don't have a negative experience as it pertains to fathers, okay? So yeah, that was the first point I wanted to make. You had all year to do some really good work in life to benefit you, your mental health, your relationship with your children, and your child's relationship with their father. Why didn't you use that? Why would you wait until a week before Father's Day and then create every negative meme you could think of to show that the father in your life isn't a father at all? That's a question. With that being said, the conversation also was brought on because a friend of mine from high school had posted a post on Facebook that really saddened me. Now, I talked a little bit earlier about how when fathers are celebrated for Father's Day, it's not at the same level as Mother's Day. So I wanted to bring up this Facebook post from Proud Black Fathers. It says, Father's Day is coming up, brothers. Get ready to get nothing. And the first comment says, can y'all daddies give suggestions? Because anytime, so someone's asking for suggestions for gifts. Another dad said, I'm ready. And then a lot of the comments, it was like thousands of comments. But a lot of the comments were dads kind of being like, I'm expecting that. I'm expecting not to be celebrated. I'm expecting for it to be, like I was saying, ties, socks, and underclothes, even though my husband loves that, but that's not all we do for Father's Day. And it just shows forth how less intentional we are about fathers. And that begs the question, why? We should know that mothers and fathers both play very distinct roles in the family, meaning that there's a nurturing component from mothers, there is a protection component from fathers, and both are very important. Both help grow a well-rounded child. So when it comes to celebrating both, why are we more likely to celebrate the mothers in our lives than the fathers. I have a theory about this because I've experienced instances where a lot of the reason why mothers are more celebrated than fathers is because we bear the physical burden of carrying the child for 9 months. We carry the physical burden of bringing the child into the world. So with that, there is a sense of entitlement that women have because of the fact that we are physically built to bear the children. With that being said, we don't realize that fathers play a very important role when the child is growing in the mother's belly. They again are there for protection. They again are there to kind of ease the mental burden of physically bearing the child with the mother. They also are there to bond and talk to baby while they're in utero and help support the growth of the child. Once the child is born, the father is there to, again, protect the child, to help grow the child through teaching different skills, through correcting the child, through providing them with the skill set they have to teach. Very important things. And sometimes, as mothers, we don't realize how much the strength of a man is important in building a well-rounded child. It's not just you need someone nurturing, but you also need someone that's firm in what a no is. My husband's nodding. What a no is,
That's me.
and what a yes is. Because I noticed in my 3 years of parenting that there are instances where 3 years of parenting. I noticed in my 3 years of parenting there are instances where I get soft. And 1 second it's a no, but if my kids look at me a certain kind of way, it then becomes a yes. So that's when my husband is there to say, no, you got to double down on this. See, the husband is there to not just support the work of the mother in growing and teaching the child, but they provide the reinforcement needed. When you think about all of the children in fatherless homes that end up going through the school to prison pipeline, that go through instances of essentially doing nefarious things, you realize that a lot of those children don't have fathers in their lives, or the fathers are kind of inconsistent. So that just tells you how important fatherhood is. That just tells you how important it is for a father to be in a child's life, because what it does is it again provides that reinforcement. It shows the child that the mother has a strong backing and hey, this is what we as a unified unit, whether you are with the child's father or not, we are a unified unit in growing the best possible version of you as your parents. Mothers and fathers are equally important, and they have their unique skills that are essential to growing well-rounded children. So I don't understand why we make jokes like this during Father's Day season in an effort to do what? To diminish their role? Because if the reality is you're going to complain about your child's father not doing what he's supposed to do, well, that by itself shows you that he has an important role, if it bothers you that much. Because if the man wasn't doing what he was supposed to do and it did not affect the growth of a child, there'd be nothing to complain about. But you can see that even in those instances where the children are going off the deep end and doing things they aren't supposed to, is because they don't have a strong father. That tells you that they have an important role. And that tells you that they should be celebrated. They should be encouraged. They should have at least one day a year that their efforts aren't diminished by negative comments. If you have an issue with your child's father, if you have instances where you feel like you can't work together collaboratively with him to parent, that's something to go to counseling about. That's something to talk to his family about. That's something to bring to God about. But that's also something for you to then create an environment where your child does have a strong man in some respect in their lives. That doesn't mean that you go out and get a boyfriend or something like that to parent your kid. No, but that means that grandfathers step in. That means that uncles step in. And we all know that there's at least, in most cases, at least one man in your life that helped you see what fatherhood is and how important it is in life. So why do we make these jokes? Why do we make Father's Day so lackluster? Why do we choose June to give out every grievance we've ever had about the father of our children? This is what our children see. Why do we allow that to be at the forefront instead of celebrating the men that do what they're supposed to do? Instead of celebrating those that provide that protection, provide that provision, provide that care, provide that backing, provide that strength. Why don't we celebrate them? Why is there a continuous attack on fatherhood in the name of bitterness, of you not just not being happy with the situation that you're in the name of bringing truth out? Why do we do that? Because the reality is, if we did this in May, right? If we did the same thing to mothers, if we did the same thing to mothers during the month of May and said that, oh, you just birthed somebody, you ain't doing all that. Oh, you just brought somebody in the world and you going out and partying. Oh, you just brought somebody in the world and now you're sitting up there dating somebody else. Oh, that never happens during Mother's Day. I have not seen, and somebody will have to email me and show me something where someone is bringing forth, all men at the very least are bringing forth all this negative commentary about mothers during Mother's Day. It just does not happen. It just does not happen. It just doesn't happen. So why do we do it? Yeah, why do we do it? It's just wrong. And it's just unkind because there are a lot of men that do their very best to care for their children. They do their very best. And instead of them being able to enjoy their special day, it's diminished by confusion and bitterness and unkindness and memes about how they get free meals on days that Chick-fil-A ain't open. And mothers who play both roles. And I'm going to tell you this, unfortunately, okay, because there are instances where people, I guess, can't control the fact that the father isn't in the life. But fathers play very distinct roles in a relationship and growing of children. They do. I highlighted some of them earlier. So the whole idea that as a mother you father too, it just does not work long term. There may be certain instances where you can be more firm and more stern, but that does not always happen that way. Yes, Nathan has something to say about this because he's sick and tired of y'all doing this on his daddy's day. Hey, Dope Law, thanks for being here. And then that's my husband as one of the mods. AG's a mod too, but yeah. So it just bothered me, and I wasn't going to be on here long. But I just wanted to address the fact that it doesn't happen on Mother's Day. So why is it happening during Father's Day season? Also addressing the fact that mothers and fathers play very distinct roles that are equally as important. Equally as important. And it's also a call to action to those who do make these posts and make these comments about how fathers aren't this and fathers aren't that. Well, what are you doing to change the circumstances? What are you doing to change what you have going on? What are you doing to better the situation with your child's father? Because it can't always just be that, oh, the father is this and the father is that, and I'm not getting no support. So what can you do? Because this is solutions. We got to find solutions. We can't just complain out here. What can you do to better the situation to where your child's getting the best out of both roles. I know people that, the fathers let down their child and don't show up for things and are very distant with children. And it's very sad. With that being said, well, what can you do in those instances? I don't have every answer because I'm not a counselor, therapist, or any type of professional in that space. But what I do know is that, well, I asked the question, can you lean on other fathers in your life to fill the gap? Can you not focus on complaining that this specific person isn't in their life and give more positive energy to those who have a desire to be in your child's life? Can you say that I'm not going to speak ill of this person that gave, and that's the one thing I have someone in my life that is very wise in that she's come to a season where it's like, well, I'm not going to spend the time complaining that someone isn't doing something and then putting in my child's mind that someone isn't doing something. I'm going to do the work to say, well, I will play my role and I will call on the men in my life to help fill the gaps. And it works. I've seen it work. I've seen grades turn around in children who have male figures in their lives that are consistent and helpful and kind and firm. I've seen grades turn around. I've seen behavioral issues change. I've seen children actually express what their needs are without shutting down because of fathers. Because of fatherhood, because of the importance that's there. I've seen kids show a desire to be helpful and to actually put forth effort in the things that they enjoy and not be a quitter because of fathers. And that's not because someone will say, well, mothers do that too. That's not the point. May done came and went. We got enough for the strength of mothering. Y'all ain't gonna strength of mothering me to death. We had that. That month has come. That month has come. But now we're in June. It's time to celebrate the dads. It's time to celebrate their strength. It's time to celebrate their perseverance. It's time to celebrate their purpose. It's time to celebrate their role that is very, very important. We've had enough. We've had enough. We've had enough of the fake. Oh, I'm a mom and a dad at the same time. My baby dad ain't nothing, so I'm going to send him this meme where fathers eat free on a Sunday, but we know that Chick-fil-A closed on Sunday. We've had enough of the dads don't get nothing because they're just this and they're just that. What about those who aren't this and that? What about the role that you play in creating an environment where things are this and that? Stop the negative propaganda in June. See, and that's the other thing. June is Father's Day month. All the other June representations I'm not addressing. And y'all know what I mean by that. Y'all know what June is for some folk. Okay? But I've come to terms with the fact that we have to be more positive and get off the complaint train. If you're on the complaint train as a single parent, that's a lot of energy expended on something that you could spend on something else. If your baby daddy don't do what he's supposed to do, okay, now what? Now what you gonna do? How are you gonna provide that balance for your child? How are you gonna provide that stability for your child? How can you create an environment where your child gets the strength of a father and the nurturing of a mother? How can you do that? That's my homework for those who want to complain this June about fathers and who want June 19th to roll around and be negative Nancy. Every role as a mother and a father is essential. And that's the attack on the family as well. This idea that, everybody can be anything and everything is so meshed together. No. They have very distinct roles. You can be a father, but then be a mother. You could be a pregnant dad. It just don't add up. How? How can you be a pregnant dad? You see what I'm saying? They just want to eliminate the family, and you're playing a role in it. AG says maybe women are trying to usurp the roles of fathers and men by bringing them down on the day when they're supposed to be praised. The Bible says women will want their husband's role. Well, yeah, the Bible says women will want their husband's role. And that's the demise of the world. That's a part of of Revelation, the demise of the world. Everything is right, wrong is right, and right is wrong. And things want to be meshed together to the point where nothing is differentiated. There is no clear line between right and wrong for the world, because they've meshed everything together. Husband says, exactly. Ain't that something? Just try to overshadow us. Nuh-uh. I don't know what happened. He's hilarious. But I'm challenging us today. Fathers are important. Fathers play a role unlike any other, because there are two roles, mother and a father. So I'm challenging us in this season. And I think that that's part of the reason why God has been really having me share about joy. Yes, baby. Your hand? Okay. Share about joy. Because if you are more focused on joy, you're not going to be focusing on complaining. I know that there are things that are hard in life. I know that there are instances where you feel like things aren't working out in your favor and your family isn't benefiting. Let me read this comment. My husband says, I believe, he's talking to AG, I believe the usurping is actually more than woman agenda. There is wickedness that is beyond the usurping of a woman, and some do, but this is beyond them. This is that wicked agenda. Yeah. And that's why I said it's not just mothers wanting to be fathers or fathers wanting to be mothers, but it's literally people want to be out of order. People don't want to have a distinct role. And sometimes I think that it comes down to the fact that, well, even as it pertains to like traditional family and, you know, the nuances of family based off of necessity, there's still a distinct role of what a mother does and what a father does, whether we work out of the home or not, because it's ingrained in us to be a specific kind of way. And it's ingrained in fathers to be a specific kind of way, because God knew that there would have to be a firm foundation. That's why he's the foundation, right? He's our father. Think about father. And that's the other thing. And, you know, I know that some people who subscribe to our channel aren't Christian, but the facts are the facts. That God is our father. So when we think of fatherhood, think of how much love God gives us and the way in which he gives it to us, and the chastening and the correction and the firmness of when he says something, how everything is clear. That's fatherhood. That's fatherhood. It is a necessity in our lives. So when we start to look at fatherhood as this thing that we don't need, well, how is it that your children don't need a father? How is it that well, I survived fine without a father, and you're unpleasant to be around, and you're unkind, and you're unkept, and you have no decorum, and you handle yourself in a very masculine way because you think that it protects you because you weren't protected? Define fine.
That part. That part.
Define fine.
Jeez.
So there are things that are very
Lord.
unique to fathers.
Lord. Jesus.
And I am on the train of of celebrating dads this month. The continuous attack on fatherhood is done. It is finished. Because what we're going to start doing is asking the questions. Well, if every year, your child, 14 at this point, every year you complain about your baby daddy. Every year you complain about your baby daddy. What work have you done to rectify the way in which you feel about, at the very least, about how you feel about this person? Have you Have you? Yeah, come around. Have you released that pain to God? Have you released that this disdain that you have for this person to God? Have you released control of the situation to God? Have you said, well, if I can't control this situation with this man, what I can do is address my anger, is get help for my inability to communicate effectively to this person because of the hurt maybe that they caused you, and provide an environment where my children can at least have a pleasant mother and a father willing to put forth an effort out of love. Because sometimes it does create a volatile experience when you're mean or very manipulative when it comes to your children with a man, but you want that man around. But every time they're around, you're talking negative about them or posting negative about them. Because I don't know if people don't realize that looks bad on you too.
Right.
That you're saying, oh, my baby's father is this and my baby's father is that. Well, someone will say, well, you picked him. Did you not know he had these qualities beforehand? Did you not know that he was like this? Oh, I was young. Okay. Well, now you're old. So at the very least, take accountability for the fact that you chose to make a child with this person. And say, in my accountability, I will say that I had played a role in creating an environment with this man. And at the very least, I can provide an environment where he can at least try. Or set up an environment where my child gets that void filled and those needs met from another father figure in their life. Like, it makes you look bad if you're posting about your baby dad every day and how he don't do this and don't do that. And it makes you look even more malicious and vindictive when you do it every June. My husband shouldn't have to scroll and see all y'all negative, funny posts about how fathers are not nothing. Because that ain't his experience. And that's not my experience with him. Nor is it with my father in love. Nor is it with the father figures in my life and my father. Everybody has their shortcomings. Everybody has a learning curve when it comes to parenthood. Fathers included. Mothers want all this grace and, oh, I'm learning. Fathers are learning too. We are all in transition in parenthood. We are all doing our very best. We are all learning. So give that same grace to the dads. These allergies and these people are crazy. So with that being said, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Fathers play an important role and they deserve to be celebrated every year. Every year. With intentional effort. Be intentional this season to celebrate the fathers in your life because they play an essential role to the development of the children. The continuous attack on fatherhood is over. All right? I love y'all. Be sure to comment, like, and share this video with a friend. Celebrate the fathers. Tag me in your Father's Day post because I want to see how you're going to celebrate the fathers in your life this season. I will share our post about what we're doing for my husband and the fathers in my life this season. It's going to be really nice. But stop with the negative posts. They're not helpful. And they make you look silly. Okay? So peace. I love y'all. Have a good one.
This is what she asked. Can you keep a secret? No, really? Can you keep keep a secret? Can you hold till it's time? But what if it's a secret you're keeping from people who believe in your dreams and want to cheer you on? I think you're asking too much of me, baby, to live in the shade when they know this is true love. I guess I understand why you are asking, but fear is not love. I promise you they can't mess this up. Love is no secret, and the rules are very clear. When it's true, there is no power that can sabotage the two. Love is no secret, and its power is real. Don't forget its power is real. Safe in love, none can ever make this love fail. There's no power, spell, or fire strong